Isang mapayapang hapon, Pilipinas. Ito po ang inyong balerina ng bayan, si Lisa Macuja, na bumabati sa lahat ng nakikinig sa DZRH at nanonood sa RH TV. Lalo na sa mga kasamahan nating alagad ng sining at kultura sa buong bansa. Next week na! Excited na ba kayo? Ako, excited na talaga dahil next week na magbubukas ang Snow White. Ito po ang aking pangalawang major choreography work para sa Ballet Manila at talaga namang ibinuhos namin lahat ng kaya naming magawa para mapaganda ang sets, ang costumes, ang special effects at syempre lalong-lalo na ang pagsasayaw. Kung nagustuhan ninyo ang aming Cinderella last year, sigurado kaming masisiyahan din kayo sa aming pre-holiday presentation sa taong ito. Kaya't huwag nang maghintay ng last minute, magpunta na kaagad sa mga Ticket World outlets o di kaya ay tumawag sa 891-9999 para makakuha ng tickets para sa Ballet Manila's Snow White. Online po at ticketworld.com.ph. Ballet Manila's Snow White opens this weekend at 6 p.m. on Saturday, November 25, with matinee shows at 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 26. Meron din kaming second weekend performances at 6 p.m. on December 2 and at 3 p.m. on December 3. Isama ang buong pamilya, ang buong barkada, pati na ang buong opisina dahil sigurado naming mag-e-enjoy po kayo. Samantala, sa ating programa sa hapong ito, kasama natin ang isa sa ating mga suki kapag libro ang ating paksa. Sa hapong ito, pag-uusapan natin kung ano ang mga bagong trends sa marketing and promotions ng mga aklat sa kasalukuyang henerasyon ng internet at online shopping. Kaya't huwag kayong aalis, kalahating oras ng masayang kwentuhan ang naghihintay sa ating lahat, kasama ang booktologist, bookseller at book marketing expert na si Miss Gwenn Galvez.
Ang Manila International Book Fair na inorganisa sa taong ito ng Primetrade Asia Incorporated, ang pinakamalaki at longest-running book fair sa Pilipinas mula pa noong 1981. Layunin nito ang mapalawak ang interes ng publiko sa pagbabasa sa pamamagitan ng pagsasama-sama ng ating mga publishers, distributors, booksellers, authors, illustrators at academicians sa ilalim ng isang bubong upang makasalamuha ang mga end users tulad ng mga estudyante, professionals at mga karaniwang tao na mahilig magbasa. Nagbibigay din ang MIBF ng mga lectures at workshops mula sa iba't ibang mga eksperto sa publishing industry at nagiging venue para sa book signing at book reading sessions ng iba't ibang authors. Ayon sa mga datos ng MIBF, ang Pilipinas ay may 96.3% literacy rate as of 2015 at nasa 80% ang pinakapopular na babasahin ang mga libro. Gayunpaman, kulang pa sa 700 ang bilang ng mga bookstores sa buong bansa at wala pang 2,000 ang public libraries sa Pilipinas. Paano kaya mapupunuan ang mga pangangailangan ng publiko sa mga babasahin na may mataas na kalidad, lalo na mula sa mga local authors at publishers? Alamin natin ang kasagutan mula sa bookseller at book marketing expert na si Miss Gwenn Galvez.
Magandang hapon, Gwenn, and welcome back to Art2art.
Yes, thank you for having me here. Thank you also to the producers and the director for having me here. This is World Book Month this November.
So, wow, so very appropriate.
Yes, so
World
I'm very
Book
glad
Month.
that you are featuring books during the Book Month.
Okay,
yes,
and of course, you know, nagpapasalamat din kami dahil talagang suki ka na sa aming programa.
Oo,
and syempre kapag libro talagang mapag-usapan, I think sa pagtrabaho mo for a long time sa Anvil, sa Anvil Publishing, nagkaroon tayo ng maraming proyekto for the book to ballet.
Yes,
Lalong-lalo na yung tatlong kwento ni Lola Basyang.
Yes.
I think that was in 2008.
Yes.
And yung tatlo pang kwento ni Lola Basyang in 2011. 11 naman yun. So,
True. At memorable
Through the
yun.
years,
It's
no?
a very, very memorable project kasi bihira ang collaboration ng dance and books. No, we would like to have more of them. Sana, and Balay Manila seems to be one of the few artistic companies that really values collaborations between different arts. So it's a very, very valuable project na sana, I think you're doing it now again, no? Featuring fairy tales. So mukhang
Yes.
talagang nasa mission.
Actually, magkakaroon ng libro ang aming Snow White, and it's going to be available
Oh, that's
also
good.
during the
Okay.
performance. Kasi yung ginawa naman namin sa Ibong Adarna, na nag-world premiere last August, at ngayong dadating na world premiere na sa November 25 na Snow White, ito naman ay baliktad, from ballet to book.
Oh, maganda. Thank you. Thank you for
So
supporting
inspired
books.
syempre by
Yes.
our projects together,
that's
na books to ballet.
Oo, that's very good.
Pero sige, bumalik tayo sa pinag-uusapan natin, which is you are now representing another group called Primetrade Asia.
Yes.
So basically, ano itong Primetrade Asia? What does your company do? And ano ang kinalaman, of course, sa marketing ng mga libro?
Okay. Primetrade Asia is the organizer of the Manila International Book Fair. It's the biggest book event of the year. It's been running for 38 years, non-stop.
Okay.
And Primetrade Asia is the company behind it. And this is part of their advocacy also to support publishing. Our stakeholders are really the publishing companies, authors, and of course readers. And it's not easy to bring book readers together, but the Manila Book Fair has been very successful in this endeavor because the crowds that have been coming to the book fair have been growing exponentially. This year, we've clocked in almost 150,000 visitors
Wow.
in 5 days. And the lines were phenomenal. Tuloy-tuloy yung tao. No? We for the first time this year, they expanded into two floors, and still all the alleys and the walkways were full, and we're very happy about this. And we're bringing in a new generation of readers, which is good. And they're buying print. They're buying print books, which is also a very
So we're
good
talking
sign.
about hard copies
Printed
talaga,
books, yes,
printed
printed
books.
books.
I mean, the real.
Yes,
May
yes.
tawag dyan, di ba? Yung mga tunay na libro.
Oo, yung pwede
Oo,
mong i-flip
oo,
ang pages.
aha,
Yes.
oo.
And these are young people who are buying books, and that's a very good, we feel that is very encouraging. Because for a while, the young readers kind of shifted to digital books, but now they're back. They're buying printed books.
And to what would you attribute this development? I mean, I think everyone, syempre nung naging medyo conscious tayo sa pag-preserve ng planet, pag-preserve ng nature, pag-preserve ng trees, naging parang very, I don't know, yung parang hindi siya environment friendly,
friendly
kung
yung paper.
hindi kung yung paper hindi second hand regenerated,
Yes, but
recycled
now,
paper, no?
It's all now books are really they make use of recycled paper ngayon talaga, no? Especially yung paperbacks, which most of the young people buy. No? I think it has to do really with the ease of reading a printed book compared to a digital. Personally, I have difficulty completing a book when I would normally complete a book in 5 hours or a whole day. It's kind of difficult to do that when you're reading
On digital.
on a device. No?
Oo.
Somehow the lighting tires your eyes more, so you need more breaks in between. But with a printed book, if the story is captivating, you lose track of time.
That's true. Ang napansin ko din, because I read in both, no? Sa aking iPad and of course hard copy. And ang napansin ko talaga is ang daming distractions when you're reading an electronic copy. Kasi nga, ang daming pop-up na notification.
That's another thing.
Tapos, ang dali-daling sa isang pindot lang, pwede kang pumunta sa Facebook, pwede kang pumunta sa Instagram. Na, in fact, nag-e-encourage yung e-copy ng libro na halimbawa, merong doon parang word na hindi mo naintindihan.
You can
check mo ang meaning sa dictionary.
And then navigate
and
get lost.
So ang ganda naman talaga na talagang libro lang ang hawak mo. You turn off everything else. Siguro pwede kang makinig sa music habang nagbabasa, pero iba yung experience na tuloy-tuloy yung pagbasa.
That's true. That's true. So I think the young people now are experiencing this and they're enjoying. It's become more like reading for leisure, which I think is really what it should be. But of course, there are other markets that still prefer the digital books, especially for now, digital books are more popular among those who do research.
Okay.
Because then they can navigate several references at a time. And it's easier because then there are copy-paste functions.
Yes, madaling mag-notes.
Yes. For academic purposes, I think that the digital material is the use of digital material is increasing. But the books for leisure, I think, will still be the domain of printed books for a longer time. So now when we target our readers, we are more segmentized.
Yes.
And now the market is really very highly segmentized. There are a lot of niche markets. So those are the new things that we as booksellers have to consider. You have to find the right channel and the right medium for your specific target market. So everything has been more focused in terms of book selling. That's why there are more channels now to sell
So
books.
in terms of book selling and book marketing, ano ang current trends ngayon, lalo na sa books of leisure?
Yeah, for books of leisure, of course, the bookstores are still the channel, the most accessible channel, because when you go to a bookstore, you can browse and make choices from browsing several titles. But now there are also other channels online where you have a longer tail, what they call a longer tail. So you can choose from as much as 1,000 titles, and there are some offering previews, so you can read an excerpt. They'll give you a trial for maybe 1 day, and then if you like it, you have the option to buy.
Yes.
So these are features that perhaps a bookstore might not be able to offer. So it depends on where you are. Some people, they would just like to buy a short novel for, say, while they're traveling. So it's disposable, it's time-bound. So there are many options now, and I think the reader has no excuse not to read something. So better.
Okay, nasabi natin kanina when we described you, you are a bookologist.
Booktologist.
Booktologist. Okay.
Yes.
Medyo bago ata sa maraming ang term na yun, booktologist.
Yes.
So can you explain to us what is a booktologist and how does one earn the title of a booktologist?
Well, a friend of mine actually coined it and gave it to me. Because when I left my company and I was starting on a new path, she asked me, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm still going to be making books, but I would like to be involved in the whole process from the front end to the back end. So I'll be making books, I will be writing, I'll be editing, I'll be putting books together, layout and design, and of course I will still be selling books. Also, she said, oh, okay, so I think the new term for you is booktologist, because now I can work with a lot of other people. I'm more free to collaborate with other writers, other publishers, other people who are interested in making books. So it gives me much more freedom to work on book projects That's why sabi niya sa akin, you should call yourself a booktologist. So it's something, it's actually a new term for publishers. I believe it's a new term because then you can go into other mediums like online publishing, digital instructional material. So there are many platforms that are available right now. So I decided a new term may probably be appropriate because then we're pushing the boundaries for publishing.
Okay.
So that's why.
Okay.
And it certainly attracts attention. Yes.
Yeah. Well, na-mention mo kanina that you would normally take, 5 hours to finish a book? Depending on the length,
Yes.
siguro, no? So, personally, how many books do you go through in, say, a month? And is this mainly for work or for pleasure?
Well,
or both?
now, for work, I'm involved in like 6 projects in different stages of development. And they're all different topics, different fields, so it's very exciting because I'm learning new things. But for my reading, for me, I think I share this habit with others. There's always 10 books that you are reading at the same time. You know, they're on your bedside table, they're in your bag, they're in your car. So, one book that, for example, for fiction, is still 5 hours for me. Like the new novel of Dan Grisham. It took me 5 hours to read because when a flight is delayed, you have all this time to read. So it's still the same, but there is always joy in picking through different titles at the same time. I'm sure you do the same thing when you have time.
When I have time.
In between your dancing and appointments, there's always a book
yung
there.
Time. Yeah,
Diba?
but that's true. There's always a book there. In fact, there's a book here in the studio right now. Pero
Waiting to be read.
We'll talk about that later. Marami pa po tayong pag-uusapan kasama ang booktologist and book marketing expert na si Gwenn Galvez. Dito pa rin sa Art2art. Magbabalik po kami pagkatapos ng ilang paalala.
Programang hatid ay sining at kulturang para sa lahat. Magbabalik ang Art2art. Schedule ng mga inaabangang konsyerto. Update sa mga magagandang panoorin sa mga tanghalan at teatro. Narito na ang Art2art Calendar.
Narito ang ating Arts Calendar. Sa musika, inihahandog ng BGC Arts Center Festival ang guitar concert na pinamagatang Lupa ng Araw, kung saan tampok ang Silangan Chamber Guitar Ensemble. Tutugtugin ng grupo ang mga obra ni Holborn, Bach, Almeida, York, Jens at Solares. Mapapanood ang concert November 23 alas 3 ng hapon sa Zobel de Ayala Recital Hall ng Maybank Performing Arts Theater na matatagpuan sa BGC Arts Center, 26th Street, corner 9th Avenue, Bonifacio Global City, Taguig. Samantala, inihahandog ng Music Education Department ng UP College of Music at ng Junior Music Educators Guild ang unang solo concert ng Gigil, isang classical guitar ensemble, pinamagatang Time and Space. Itatanghal ito November 22, alas 7 ng gabi, Abelardo Hall, Auditorium, UP College of Music, Diliman, Quezon City. Tutugtugin ng grupo ang musikang Filipino, Baroque at Contemporary Western. Libre ang naturang concert. Sa teatro, mapapanood ang bagong musical na pinamagatang The Glitter Trap. November 25, alas 5 ng hapon sa Globe Auditorium ng Maybank Performing Arts Theater, Bonifacio Global City, Taguig. Ito ay tungkol sa batang si Lacey na kinakailangang matuto ng magic matapos niyang di sinasadyang masaktan ang fairy godmother. Ang musical book and lyric ay gawa ni Joel Trinidad at may musika ni John Mir Vera Perez. Batay sa best-selling Disney book nina Barbara Bronner at James Iver Matson, ito ay sa direksyon nina Joel Trinidad at Nikki Trevino. Para sa ticket, tumawag sa Ticket World 891-9999.
Usapang sining at kultura para sa lahat. Kasama ang balerina ng bayan, si Lisa Macuja. Art2art.
Kasama pa rin natin ang booktologist, bookseller, at syempre certified book lover na si Miss Gwenn Galvez. Okay, Gwen, according to statistics, nasa 96.3% ang literacy rate ng mga Pilipino at 80% sa pinaka-popular na mga babasahin ay mga libro.
Yes.
But how would you contextualize these figures? Dahil ba literate, mahilig magbasa? At anong klaseng libro ang binabasa nila para maabot ang 80% na preferred reading material?
Well, the 96 literacy rate is really refers to functional literacy. So these are being able to read instructions, being able to read common signs and directions. But in terms of the deeper or higher level literacy rates in terms of reading, Filipinos still prefer to read romance novels, for instance, and cookbooks. And I believe that reading social media is still reading. When you're reading on internet, when you're Googling, when you're researching, that's still reading. It's just a new kind of reading. So I think because Filipinos are one of the most active on social media, it shows a kind of literacy, a kind of literacy that allows them to absorb information, absorb news. No? What I just hope that this literacy will develop into a more discerning kind of appreciation of the materials that they're reading, so that they can be more cautious and careful about what they're reading, because there is a danger also with absorbing any kind of information that comes their way. No? In terms of books now, the ones that are really, for example, I was just going through some data from Wattpad. Wattpad is a platform for new writers. They post their writings online, and they attract readers, and readers are free to comment and make suggestions. And in July, the data was the top novel or the top reading material in Wattpad in Filipino had 1.3 million views.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So this is a phenomenal data, because of course the platform is free. Readers can go online and just read. No? You just need to register an account with Wattpad so you can read. But that's still 10% of our population reading Wattpad, and most of them are in the, I would say, 12 to 18 age bracket, because these are young adult novels and young adult readers, writers. You have writers as young as 16 years old, and they get hits of 1.3 million. That's the highest, and there are about 20 of them in the million mark, in the million hit mark. So I think this is, for me, it's a good indication of a love for reading.
Yes, yes.
So if you give them the right platform, they don't have to spend. If it's free, you'll get a lot of people who read. The problem is spending.
That's true.
The problem is
That's
spending.
true.
So it's kind of expensive also to finance your love for reading.
Well, you know, one of my favorite reading applications right now, which I access all the time, is Blinkist.
Yes, Blinkist.
And it's, you know, for me talagang when you only have 15 minutes to finish a book, talagang ang ganda ng yun, ng summary, and the fact na pwede mong you can just listen to the summary and not even have to read it. So talagang pag nasa traffic ka or ano, pwedeng.
Yes.
You know, I find it very, very convenient and
a lot of people too, they refer to Blinkist for books that they want to read, or books that they need to reference when they're giving talks, or even just for conversation. You open Blinkist and there's something there that you can always pick up and start a conversation with.
That's true. That's true. Okay, let's talk about the last book fair. You gave a talk on marketing books in a borderless world.
Yes.
And clickbait readership.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So bigyan mo kami ng summary about this subject, and Bakit ito relevant in terms of book marketing sa ating bagong henerasyon?
Yes, because I was telling publishers, the audience were mainly publishers, and I was telling them that we're facing a lot of challenges now, and we really have to discover who we're publishing for, because now you need to have a very focused strategy for marketing your books, because the market is very specific. Markets are very specific with what they want. So one of the data that I presented was Wattpad. So if you want to attract this market, then you have to really understand what they're looking for and what they want. And right now you cannot use the same strategy for a young adult reader and a more mature, let's say, the second wind reader. No? They have just different ways of deciding on what materials to buy, and even the style and the choice of words and the approach has to be different. And I was showing them different platforms that are available now for publishing, especially online. And now publishing is moving to the mobile. So now there are, I cannot call them books because they're differently written. There are mobile platforms where you can share reading materials. Like there's this new platform, it's called Hooked. It's phenomenal because now it has like more than 1 million users in the US alone, million subscribers. Hooked is a platform for suspense stories. Each story must have 10, and it's only 10 screens. You have to complete a story in 10 messages or 10 screens, 10 screenshots. And you have to read it in 6 minutes.
Oh.
Because if you don't read it in 6 minutes, they'll charge you. You pay. You're penalized if you cannot finish the story in 6 minutes. But wow, because the story is so engaging, you cannot finish it in 6 minutes kasi parang you're going back through the text and trying to go through what's happening. You really get hooked.
You get hooked and then you have to pay.
Hooked. And then you will pay and then you will subscribe.
Oh, okay.
So these are platforms that are available now, and publishers can publish on these platforms. There are also platforms where teachers can upload their materials for textbooks, and they publish their own materials and they can sell it direct to students. So all these platforms are available.
No, it's true that with all the different platforms now, everyone can be a writer and everyone can be a researcher, everyone can be a publisher. Technically, no? Okay. So before we run out of time, tell us about your pet project na EduShop.
Okay.
Bakit ito one-stop shop for learning? That's your slogan?
Yes. Okay. EduShop was set up by the organizers of the Manila Book Fair. We're running this online shop because we felt that the experience of the book fair is so important for people who go, and also frustrating because sometimes the crowds make it difficult for book buyers also to select because as you know, you like to select at leisure. So we thought, why don't we offer the book fair the rest of the year, not just 5 days? Since we already have a very good following of regular book fair visitors, we thought, let's engage them by offering books 365 days a year. And we focused first on Philippine books because we feel that our publications need to be given more exposure. And we would like also to offer, together with Philippine books, some educational materials, digital and what you call this 3D. So we have games, we have toys, and we also have digital learning materials. And of course, the bida in EduShop are the Philippine books. So then we promote these books through the the site of the Manila Book Fair, because it's the Manila Book Fair that has a large following. So that's in essence what Edu Shop is. It's really the bookstore of the Manila Book Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about yung how do all of these different platforms now support, say, the writer or the publisher financially. I mean, if everything is free, paano kumikita ang manununod?
There are different business models. Like in the case of Hook that I mentioned, it's free only when you start. But then after 1 month, you have to subscribe. If you like what you read and you want more, then you subscribe. In the case of Wattpad, it's free to readers, but they have collaborations with sponsors. They get sponsors, companies who want to promote their brands, who want to promote their services, can actually buy a story and have their product a part of the story. One of their biggest sponsors is H&M on Wattpad. And for a while, I think Unilever has done some campaigns via Wattpad. So there are different models to sustain the business.
Yeah.
But of course, readership and subscription is still the first.
Yeah.
No? But I was telling publishers, we have to be open to these kinds of collaborations. If the other media are doing it, why can't books do it?
Yeah.
So-
But I think we agree that the classic hard copy book
Yes,
to read for leisure is here to stay.
of course.
Yeah, no matter what generation, no
course,
matter
of course.
what the times
Of
are,
course.
it's still,
Yes.
the books
Yes, of
in
course.
general, reading books,
Right.
it's still here.
That's true.
to
What
stay,
we're
no?
trying to convince government to do is really to give more support to the public libraries, because people hardly even know that there is a public library system here, but the funding for it has been nakakaawa. So
Tsaka sana yung mga traveling libraries, pupuntahan talaga yung
we should
mga-
have more of those.
Oo.
So
And
that,
even just the school libraries in our public schools
right.
especially, no? Oo.
because it's still the best way to encourage
Yes,
reading.
of course.
Reading should
Of
be
course.
free
Oo nga.
as much as possible.
Tama.
Make it more available.
Okay. Gwen, thank you very
Thank
much.
you too.
Maraming
Thank you.
salamat. At
Thank you.
napakabilis.
And thank you for always having us
Yeah.
publishers in your show.
Of course.
We appreciate it very
Yeah.
much.
Okay, from one book lover to
Yes,
to another.
Thank
Maraming
you.
salamat. And of course, in this age of information, kailangan talaga natin ng mas maraming book and reading advocates katulad mo para tumaas hindi lang ang quantity but also the quality of materials available to the reading public. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, samahan ninyo kami ulit dito sa Art2art, kung saan ang usapang sining at kultura ay para sa lahat. Ito po ang inyong balerina ng bayan, Lisa Macuja, nagpupugay sa artistang Pilipino.